Did I get some of you? All right, fine. It's fine if I didn't. It's not. I'm just thought I'd wake you up a little bit. Make sure that you're paying close attention. Happy Chapel Day. I hope that you're excited for another chapel lesson that we get to learn. But this is also the day before the half day of the week that we're not going to have. Did you get that? Okay, fine. This is the day before the half day because tomorrow's a half day. And then after that half day tomorrow, you're on spring break. So you have a whole week of not being here. How exciting. Are you so excited? I hope that you all have a wonderful time with family and friends and doing all the things. So it's an exciting time to rest, relax, rejuvenate, and re-energize yourself to come back and be ready to punch those last 2 months and be done and end the year well before summer. So I really hope that that's what you're going to do and working hard at that. Well, this is March still, which is our month where we were talking about what? Because remember, February was the month, but then March was what? Yes, I think some of you remembered the month we talk about kindness. Have you been remembering to be kind? Don't be so quick to say yes. Think about it. Are you being kind to your friends? Are you being kind to your brothers and sisters? Are you being kind to your teachers by listening and obeying and being respectful? Are you being kind? Are you remembering those things? Think about that, because this is what I want you to focus on this month. How can I show kindness? What about when somebody cuts you? I don't let my students say that, but what about when somebody cuts you in line? I mean, hey, no, you can't. I was there for, no, move back. Or what about when somebody's maybe making you a little crazy because they're talking too much, or maybe they're making noises that bother you and you want them to be quiet? Do you yell and scream at them or give them a dirty look? Be quiet. Make me insane. You're so annoying. Or do we remember to show kindness? It's not easy at all, but it's something I want us to think about. How can we show kindness to not just our classmates, our brothers and sisters, but also people around us? Are we showing kindness to others? That's one of the things I want you to work on. Well, we're going to read a story from Grandma's Gospel. You guys remember this book, right? We've read some stories in here. It's been a little while. So we're going to read another story from Grandma's Gospel. And this story is about kindness. It's called The Good Neighbor. So maybe as you are even hearing the title, you might be thinking, I think I might already know what this is about. By the way, my third graders, we just did this lesson 2 or 3 days ago. So they're going to hear it again this week. Also, if you go to EBC Kids Church, I think we did this lesson like 2 weeks ago. So some of you, it's going to be the third time hearing this lesson, but it must mean that you need to hear it. Maybe God's trying to remind you to be kind. Be kind to one another. And so I hope that as we go through this story, that you'll not just go, oh, I've already heard this story 3 times this, then the past couple of weeks, I don't need to hear it again. No, I want you to go, Lord, are you trying to help me to remember to be kind? Let me listen and make sure that that's what I'm doing with my friends, with my family, with those around me. The whole family was pitching in at the food pantry, packaging food to deliver to the poor. It's good to help our neighbors, said Grandpa. But this isn't for our neighbors, said Katie. They just went to the store yesterday. Oh, Katie, said Grandma, Jesus taught the crowds that followed him the 2 greatest commandments. Do you know what those commandments are? Oh, isn't the greatest commandment to love God? Interrupted Josh. And the second one is to love your neighbor, answered Katie. You 2 are pretty smart cookies, Grandma exclaimed. Well, let me tell you about a lawyer who tested Jesus with questions about neighbors. Now, do you think you have an idea? So there they are, packaging up the food for the poorer people that need some help. They're going to show kindness to them. Well, just who is my neighbor that I'm supposed to love? Asked this lawyer of Jesus. Jesus, being patient with this man, decided to tell him a story. There once was a man going on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho. Now, is it sounding a little bit familiar? The road was rocky and cut across the desert. The man had walked a long way in the hot sun when suddenly some evil men jumped on him, beat him up terribly, and robbed him. They took everything he had, even his clothes and shoes. Thinking he was just dead, they ran away, leaving him by the side of the road. So can you see them? They were hiding out, waiting and ready for when he came by. And then they stole everything from him and they left him in the dirt as though he were dead. Not long afterward, a Jewish priest walking down the same road saw the man lying there. Oh, that's good. Because a priest is kind of like a pastor like we would have today. Somebody that was very important in the church and would teach the Bible to people. So you think about it. If your parents and you got in a car accident and your pastor was driving by, what's your pastor going to do? He's going to stop the car. He's going to call the police for you and make sure you're okay. He's going to call the ambulance if he needs to and get the tow truck, and he would drive you wherever you need to go. He's going to help you, right? So, okay, this poor man has been beaten up. He's lying on the side of the road, almost as though he were dead. But here comes like a pastor that's coming. Oh, thank goodness. Somebody can help this man so he's not just laying there in the hot sun. That priest saw the man lying there, but he didn't stop to help. He actually looked at the man, and did this. He crossed to the other side of the road, leaving that man sitting there while he goes on his way. Oh yeah, I don't want to mess up my robe. Plus, you guys don't understand. You think I'm being cruel, but there's a Jewish law. There was a religious Jewish law that said that people could not touch other dead people. So if you're touching, you can't touch anything dead and you can't touch dead people. I think he's dead. I mean, I don't want to look too hard. I don't really hear him, so I'm sure he's dead. It's fine. I'm just gonna go. I've got to get home, or I've got to get to the tabernacle. I've got places to go. I've got people to see. I don't have time to stop for this man. So since he thought that he was already dead, the priest just didn't even think he needed to help. So he didn't even check. He didn't check. He didn't care. He walked away on the other side. He just hurried selfishly along on his own way because he had somewhere he needed to be and something he needed to do. So that poor man just lay there in the hot sun, bleeding into the dust. I mean, he was just broken and bleeding, and here's the priest. He sees him, but he doesn't want to help, and he doesn't even go and check. Hey, are you okay? Do you need any help? Let me see if I can. No, he's just like, I think he's dead. I'm gone. Bye. Oh, how awful. Then a Levite. Well, a Levite is just another very religious man. So you've got your main pastor, and then in many churches, there are pastors that are underneath, or deacons, sometimes they're called, or men that are in high esteem that help the pastor out. Well, this Levite was one of those. So, think about it. What if one of you was running into school in the morning, and you tripped and you fell and you scraped your knee, and before you knew it, your whole face went into the sidewalk and you just went, "Rah!" And what if Pastor Derek or Pastor Sherwin or Pastor Stephen were coming in because they were bringing their kids into school, and they were like, oh, okay, I got to get, you guys, do you have your backpack? Do you have your lunchbox? You got your books? You got everything you need? Oh, that kid fell. I don't have time because I got to make sure my kids get into school. Do you think those men would do that if you fell on the ground? They would probably go, oh no, all right, Stephen, go get Emily, you go here, Zoe, go, and they would be telling everybody, help this person. We've got to help this poor person. Well, hopefully this Levite, this other religious man, at least he'll help, right? I mean, the pastor, the main priest didn't, but maybe the Levite will. He came down the road, the same road. When he looked at the man lying there, he couldn't tell if the man was a neighbor or a fellow Jew or what the man was. So he looked. Ooh, that's bad. He might have even kicked him with his foot a little bit. Oh, he moaned. Oh, he's still alive. But does he look Jewish? Because if he's not Jewish, I really don't want to touch him. Like if he's one of those Samaritans or if he's somebody else, I really don't want to bother him. I can't. Are you Jew? Are you Jewish? He didn't answer. So when he couldn't tell if the man was a neighbor or a fellow Jew, he decided, I don't want to get involved. It's not my business. I really should let him go. And he walked by even faster on the other side of the road. That poor wounded traveler continued to lie there in the dust, alone, suffering and in great pain. He's so close. He could easily have helped this man. But no, he's just going to walk by because he doesn't have time. You can't tell if he's a good person or not, and I'm not going to help just anybody. I'm only going to help certain people. How would you feel if people did that to you? Next down the road came a man from Samaria. Now, Jews looked down on Samaritans. Yeah, we don't like Samaritans very much. In fact, those two groups of people weren't even friendly to each other. They just ignored one another and walked the other way all the time. The Samaritan was on a journey and still had a long way to go. He had business that he had to get to. But when he saw that injured man lying in the dust, his heart felt compassion, felt some kind of feeling of sadness and empathy and wanting to help for this man, even though he was a stranger. He lifted that man up, cleaned and bandaged his wounds, and then he put him on his own donkey. The injured man rode while the Samaritan walked beside him through the hot desert. He got off his donkey, helped this man, even though he didn't know him. And he could tell, oh, he's not a Samaritan like me. He's Jewish. He probably doesn't even want me helping him, but I can't leave him here. I feel like he's going to die if I leave him here. I've got to help him. And he puts him on his own donkey and takes him with him. The Samaritan and his donkey took the man all the way to the next village, a long ways away. There he looked around and found a room at an inn. He cleaned the man up. He fed him and he made him rest. Then the Samaritan took 2 silver coins from his pouch and he gave them to the innkeeper. Hey, take good care of this man, he said. When I return from my trip that I'm already late for, I was supposed to be there a long time ago, so I've got to go. When I return, I will pay you for anything else that he needs. So I promise I'll pay you, so please just take good care of him and I will give you whatever other money you might need. Then the Samaritan left, not even knowing the name of the man he had helped. He brought him all the way to an inn. He helped to pay for anything that he needed. Then Jesus asked the lawyer, which of those 3 men was a neighbor to the man who was attacked by robbers? Well, it was the man who helped him, answered the lawyer. He didn't even want to say it was the Samaritan because this lawyer was Jewish and he didn't really want to say that Samaritan. It was the one who helped him. And Jesus looked at that lawyer and he said, then you go and do the same. You go and be that kind to somebody else. And that meant Showing kindness to maybe somebody that the lawyer didn't even like, somebody that the lawyer may not even know, somebody that maybe annoyed that lawyer and maybe cut in front of him in line, or somebody that would talk too much to that lawyer, or somebody that would throw balls at the lawyer and make the lawyer angry and upset, somebody that would tease him or call him names, and instead of the lawyer, getting back and being angry and being mad, Jesus says, go and be extra kind to them and show them loving kindness like this Samaritan man did. Because he could have just bandaged his wounds and still left him there, but he didn't. He did the extra mile. He brought him to an inn. He took care of him overnight. He paid the innkeeper. And when he came back, when the innkeeper said, I need 15 more cents, he paid him. Like, it wasn't even an option. He thought, I have to show care for this person because he's been hurt. So who is our neighbor? Grandma asked with a smile. Anybody that God puts in front of us who needs help, answered Katie. Yeah, said Josh. Whenever we have the chance to help someone, that is helping our neighbor. And this neighbor needs your help right now, called Grandpa. Come use your strong arms, young man, to help me carry these cans to the pantry. And so these two learned what it really means to be a neighbor. As they're sitting and thinking, Josh and Katie are recognizing our neighbor is anybody around us that God puts in front of us. And do you realize that sometimes God puts people in front of you because he knows that they need your help. He knows that they can be helped by you and be shown kindness by you. Do you end up disappointing God because you go, I'm not helping that person. They don't deserve it because they're not very nice. And so I'm not helping them. Or do you recognize, you know what? If that were me, I would want help. So maybe I should be a help to somebody else. You don't know those math facts? Oh, you're so foolish. I can't believe you didn't learn that yet. No, how about showing kindness? Hey, do you want me to help you? I can help you learn those. I can help you with that math fact, that problem that you're having a problem with. I'm not going to make fun of you at all. I'll help you. Are you willing to do that, to show kindness? Boys and girls, I want you to think, who is your neighbor? We answered that question there. How can you be a good neighbor? What are some things that you can do? And then, how can you be a good neighbor to someone who lives even in another country? How do I do that? Think about it. Talk about it with your teachers, with your parents, with your friends. How can you be a good neighbor? And then I want you to ask the Lord this week, Lord, give me a kind heart. Help me to be a neighbor to somebody who you show me, and help me not to walk away from them and be unkind. Help me to show kindness. I hope that that's something that you'll work on. You have a whole week off to show kindness to somebody. So think about who you can show kindness to and do that for them to make them feel special. And I hope, again, that you have a wonderful spring break and enjoy that time. But remember to be kind. Showing kindness is very, very important. It pleases God and it pleases others, and it helps others decide, you know what, somebody was kind to me, I'm going to be kind to somebody else. And I hope that's what you'll do. All right, have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful spring break. Yay, we're almost done. Bye, guys.